This is a good place to stop. And I'm also hungry as fuck already. You know, I'm just gonna go say, I don't like the... I don't know which one is more. No, it's a combination of both. I don't like the storytelling in this game, nor the content in this game, I think. I think the substance on these missions, as well as how the story is told, or it's mainly just, I mean, that's what it is. Told, exactly. It's not shown, it's told, and that's... When they have such like a... When so much of this game's important storytelling points or story points are in such far past, and all of it is only told to you instead of shown to you or experienced by you, it's hard to care about it. I still find it interesting, but it's just, you know, I just have this very strong feeling that there is nothing in this game. Maybe the second game, but I don't feel like there's anything anymore in this game whatsoever that will ever surprise me again. That's just the kind of feeling I'm getting here. Its storytelling, as well as its substance, is very stagnant. But, you know, it's still mildly interesting enough to the point where, you know, it's enjoyable to continue, I guess. But it's not something that I will ever, like, be like, you know, I want to go back and, you know, experience this again or something. I think this might just be one of those games that I only play once. Yeah. It's very likely so. Just do one long playthrough, which I have been doing now. So who knows? Maybe there actually does come some points that are more interesting, but no, I don't think so. I think the way this game presents its dialogue, its action, and the bulk of its substance and its storytelling, I think the entire combination, the entire concoction of all of that together is something that is just not overall. It's not bad, but it isn't, you know, it's kind of like average or good-ish, you know. It's like if I would rate it, it's somewhere like, you know, 6 out of 10 or something like that, you know. It's not bad, but it's like bit above average, and it's not really that fascinating either, you know, that engaging exactly. Yeah. I think a vast majority of people who have played this game have actually said mostly about the same about it as well, from what I have heard. I see that, yeah. It's the same thing as with Ghost of Tsushima also, which I had, but that game has significantly better presentation and significantly more gripping story and combat than this game does, which elevates it far above this game from my experience. But like this game is so, like its substance, it's so stagnant, it's so like systematic, you know. It's like in Ghost of Tsushima as well, like so much of the content, once you have seen like some of it, it always follows the same exact structure all the time, but it just throws a bit different flavor or anecdote for you to like, you know, think through from time to time. But apart from that, everything keeps being the same. I mean, I guess if I make a comparison like that, then every game is a bunch of repetition, yeah, but how does it feel, you know, when you play it? You know, you talk to a character in this game, it's always the same, like, it's always the same presentation on like the dialogue between Aloy and the character she's talking to, and it's always the same like dialogue options, and it's always the same stare down between the NPC as well, you know, whoever you're talking to, and the story is always told in the same way of, you know, just a bunch of readable stuff, sometimes from the far past, sometimes from the current moment, the contemporary people living in this broken world. It's always like the same, you know? There's nothing in here that is like, you know, that surprises me, you know? There's nothing in there that is like, you know, it like challenges my like understanding of how I feel about this game, you know? And that is something that Ghost of Tsushima did do several times. But this game doesn't. But yeah, conflicted feelings, but I'm gonna continue as usual. Probably tomorrow I'm just gonna continue the story as per usual and see where it goes. They really are hiding this Project Zero Dawn, whatever that thing is. I mean, you think Project Zero Dawn was just a cover-up? You think Project Zero Dawn was simply just a cover-up for, you know, the people to have hope in something? Because the entire, well, possibly the entire reason as to why the machines were halted in their march in the first place, or in their, you know, dominion or consumption of Earth, was possibly because everybody, the citizens as well as the civilians, were all ready to fight for something, you know, for themselves, for their loved ones, and for this, you know, new hope that was very, like, publicly mentioned throughout the entire planet, which was the Zero Dawn project, you know? Why would they otherwise, like, there's two reasons immediately that I can think of as to why they would announce something that like that to the public. I mean, they wanted to make the public feel like the Pharaoh company had some kind of control over the attack or the scourge of the machines or the swarm. Because if they did not do any kind of public announcement of what their plan was, then everybody would lose hope and they would feel like there was no, like, you know, hope for, you know, their survival at that point because of what the situation was. So they needed maybe this just to announce something to give people aka hope, or to actually be developing a real plan which contains something that we do not know yet. But I honestly might just think, now, it would be very, like, it would be incredibly cunning or very devious thing if the entire Zero Dawn thing was just made up. If it was literally just a buzzword that they threw around so that people would have hope and patience towards the Pharaoh as a company, you know? As a, like, you know, multi-trillion or whatever the fucking multi-trillion, like, dollar company or corporation that was just in control of most of the, you know, machines and the technology at the time, right? But if that is the case, then that means that the humans somehow halted. The civilians and the citizens with their fighting were able to only halt the march of the machines, you know? The threat of the machines. But if that's the case, then what explains Earth not being completely, you know, consumed, its biomass, you know? There's a lot of greenery, and obviously the characters here are able to still breathe normal air, and wildlife is still booming, as, you know, as we can see very clearly in the game. So, what if the humans just simply succeeded in their fight? And then the machines just lay dormant there for like the longest amount of time. And then this is, you know, arose one day? Or maybe, what if only the predatory machines, what if only the machines made for destruction were destroyed? And the few of the grazing machines were just let live, you know? Because the generations that we see in this game, all of the different tribes, for example, all of them have known the machines for, you know, from the end, from the start of their time, right? It's not something that the machines were just introduced or something, no. They were living in harmony with the machines, apparently. And then all of a sudden, at some point, the predatory machines started appearing again, you know? At the same time when Aloy was born. You know? Around the same time. So it's not like something that, you know, the machines from the time just went extinct. And then they were all of a sudden just created once again inside of those massive, you know, tentacle ship things. It's not like that. Yeah, but a whole lot of speculation anyway. I'm gonna stop now, and I guess we need more information to go on, right?